No, I'm just supposed to be 3 days away, so just put a scratch. Because I'm just so busy doing other stuff.
All right, it's 5:30. I'm going to call our school board meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Item 3 on our agenda is a reminder of our mission, which is to encourage everyone to see and be their personal best through successful learning experiences. Become your best. Item 4, adoption of the agenda and consent agenda as an order of business with identification of items to be taken off the consent agenda for discussion or separate action. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Consider approval of the consent agenda as adopted. Approve the minutes of the June 21st, 2022 regular Board of Education meeting. Item B, approve the financial report for the period of July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. And item C, approve bills for the period of June 1 through 2022 through June 30th, 2022 in the amount of $2,711,230.05. Need a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Item 6, Board and District Leadership Team Strategic Planning, Academic Pillar of Excellence. We're going to consider the adoption of the 2022-2023 academic standards. Dan, do you want to?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about this at the Committee of the Whole meeting, and every year since 2015, Act 55 requires that the school board adopt the standards that the district will be using for their educational program. And as of last year, the educational standards are all the Wisconsin state standards. We no longer have to use NGSS or any of those additional ones. So as we did last year, we adopted the academic standards for the state of Wisconsin. And those are in math, science, reading, writing, and social studies, including geography and history. And the one caveat that we have here is that we also support those with the ACT college and career readiness standards. So it's the same adoption as it would have been last year.
So I need a motion to adopt the 2022-2023 academic standards.
Make a motion that we adopt these new standards.
Second.
First and second, is there any other discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, item B, Financial Pillar of Excellence. We will consider approval of an additional change to 2022-2023 Support Staff Handbook. Amy, you want to give us some colored commentary on that?
Yep, so you all have a sheet that says wage rates 22-23. We're proposing to add just a clarifying little line in there. It should be highlighted by summer wages. We'd like it to say effective at the beginning of the summer season. It's got two little asterisks so that, and on the next page defines the summer season as for students, the first day of work following the last day of school. And for seasonal employees, the first day of work in the spring, summer season. This year with the change to some of these pay rates, there was confusion about when the pay rate is effective. Is it effective when they start working or July 1 of 2022 when this handbook takes place? So this is just to clarify that the wage rates for summer employees would be effective when the summer season starts, which is the first day after the last day of school.
So we need a motion to approve this additional change.
I make a motion that we make the additional approval for what Amy just talked about.
A second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you, Amy. And that moves us to item 7, Finance, Buildings, and Grounds. Consider approval of preliminary budget for the 2022-2023 school year. Again, Amy.
Yep. So I gave you a budget recap for July. At the Monday meeting, I had it through June 15th, which we know is not finalized yet, but this is a preliminary budget, 22-23 recap for this upcoming school year. As it stands right now, as of today, you can see on the bottom, it shows you the balance, which is a negative 1.578940 deficit. When you add in the 900,000 ESSER funds that we talked about on Monday, it brings the deficit down to 678,940. So we just need an approval on that right now, with the understanding that this is very preliminary and it's going to change quite a bit over the next couple months.
So a motion to approve the preliminary budget.
I move we approve the preliminary budget for the 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
First and second, is there any other discussion? If that's the case, then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're approved. Thank you, Amy. Consider approval of the proposed Schedule C updates and changes for the 2022-2023 school year. Community Ed Director, Kathy Murray.
So we talked about this also at the committee of the whole. Basically, every few years we review things, and we've been trying out a few things at Riverview. So we added coaching positions for some of those. We made some changes to other coaching positions, and we added intramurals, the intramural program at Riverview under Community Ed, under Fund 80, so that it can be open to the whole community. And that's about it, other than there's one high school change as well. And that's just a change to the MPLA advisor pay, again, because of a lot of strength in a program.
FBLA, I'm sorry, help me.
Future Business Leaders of
Thank you,
America.
thank you. I knew that acronym was there.
And that program has grown leaps and bounds, and it's now, by number of students, the largest activity that we have in the co-curricular activities in the high school. Mhm.
All right, so we need a motion to approve the Schedule C changes.
I make a motion that we approve the Schedule C changes that Kathy just talked about.
Any other questions or discussion for Kathy? Kathy, just for clarification, the intramurals, you said that is under Fund 80, right? So it's for the whole community. Do we actually, send out notices to the other schools?
Well, we haven't done this yet before, but we do that with the other sports over at Riverview are open to the entire community, and that information goes out in our flyers and on Facebook and, all the various ways
Okay.
that Jamie communicates out. But it's in our class listings as well.
Good, good. All right, thank you. If no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Kathy. Amy, we're going to come back to you. Consider approval of the proposed board lunch price increases.
Yep, so last Monday, we talked about the handout with the lunch price increases. Elementary is going up 35 cents, middle school 5 cents, high school 10 cents. And breakfast prices are going up slightly, elementary 20 cents and the high school 5 cents. I think this is broken down. So with the lunch price increases, we also need
approval for us to continue working with Alpha Baking to provide bread products for our food service program for 22-23.
And we've got that as a separate item, right?
I don't know, it's in
Yeah,
the
it
is.
background.
We have a separate item
With
for
separate
the
item.
approval of milk and bread increases.
Okay.
So we're just doing the lunch price increases
Okay.
right now, so,
So
And-
that's the increases.
okay. And again, the elementary was what?
For lunch,
Yeah.
35 cents.
So their increase is bigger than everybody else's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there any reason for that? Just,
I'm honestly not really sure. Is Karen here?
I'm here, what is the question? Didn't hear up here.
Why
Oh, sorry.
elementary lunch prices are increasing more than other lunches?
Elementary is the one that hasn't been raised. The last time we did raise lunch prices, we did not raise elementary at all. We only raised middle school and high school because we only needed a little bit of adjustment after the last time we raised prices. So the elementary has been considerably lower for a longer amount of time, so therefore they took the shift this time.
okay. Thank you. All right, so we need a motion to approve the school lunch price increases.
I'll make a motion to approve the school lunch increases.
I'll second.
Any other questions?
I would just make a note that this will only go into effect if, in fact, their lunches and breakfasts are needing to be paid for this year. There still are some proposals out there at the national level and at the state level that are working their way through about whether or not school lunches will be free for all or back to the way it was pre-pandemic. So we just have to have this in order in case they are not free.
Thank you for the clarification. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now, Amy, consider the milk and bread increases for the 2022-2023 school year.
Okay, milk is going up 5 cents all across the board.
Okay?
We're also asking for approval to continue working with Alpha Baking to provide the bread products for our food service program for 22-23. We've worked with Alpha Baking for many years. We're happy with their service, and they were the only company that responded to our bid.
And there won't be any increases with the bread, but you're just confirming that we want to work with Alpha.
Right. And can I bring up Engelhart too? Dairy, okay. Engelhart Dairy is the company that bid on our milk products for the food service program. So we also need approval to work with them in this coming school year. And we've worked with them for many years too.
Okay.
I'm just curious, where's the dairy and the bakery, where are they located?
Engelhart is in Kewaskum.
Okay.
Alpha Baking,
Alpha Baking has a couple plants, kind of like Sun Prairie and Kenosha, I believe are the two that comes out of.
All right. So it's probably, we're kind of, our agenda description. We really need approval of, motion to approve Alpha Baking as our baker. And then we'll take another motion to approve, who's the dairy? Or they're already approved?
Engelhart.
Are they already approved?
Not yet.
Engelhart, no. So we'll, all right, we'll do it that way. So I need a motion to approve Alpha Baking.
I move we approve contract with Alpha Baking.
Second.
All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed? All right, now we need a motion to approve Engelhart
Engelhart
Dairy,
yeah, along with the,
along with a increase of 5 cents on milk.
correct.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? All right, thank you very much, Amy. Facility project update, Mr. Mello.
Yes, I did this at the committee of the whole, but I thought in case people weren't tuned in at that time, and we have more people in the audience here today, we'd go over a little bit of that because this is the time of the year when the school district really has the capability and the space to be able to do some of those larger facility projects that you can't do during the school year. So every year through excellent financial management and planning through our buildings and grounds and through our facilities committee, we have highlighted some specific top need areas that are addressed in summer. And so this summer, one of the big ones had to do with kind of this end of the high school complex, which is the pool is getting a new fan system, which is going to pull in fresh air and expel chlorine air. And this is replacing the one that was first installed in 1967, and which has been held together with a lot of MacGyver-style tactics over the course of the years. And so that's going on right now, but it also gave a chance because you had to drain the pool in order to do it, to acid wash the tile and to do tuck pointing, which reduces leaking and our water consumption at the high school as well. So that's an example of one of the bigger types of projects. We have a few different HVAC system updates that are going on here in the high school as well. There is a HIP boiler, it's called. It's just for fall and spring, and it takes humidity out of the air on this end of the building, so it acts a little bit like a cooling system, like an air conditioning system, which is good for systems just in general in the building. So that is being installed this summer. There have been just a number of smaller things, including some of our updates that are with our sustainability efforts related to LED lighting versus the old lighting that we had. Things like not using pesticides, herbicides, and chemical fertilizers on most of our grounds, and going into the discovery phase of how to best manage the grounds without those chemicals. Just a quick little side note, we had an expert in just this past week talking about using nitrogen gas as a way to open up soil and kind of aerate the soil. It's a completely natural product, but it opens the soil, allows the grasses and clovers to grow, but because the soil isn't matted and packed down, the seeds that are on top of soils, like dandelions and those types of things, don't take root. And eventually, the plants that you want to have take root, and the ones that you don't, and you don't have to use chemical fertilizer for that. So we're in the foundation or the discovery phases of that, and we've got some test plots going currently. So that's kind of exciting. We've had some work in the kitchen downstairs that removed some obstacles that were in our way, and so now Karen's no longer going to be hitting her knees on things, going back and forth from the serving area to the ovens, so that's wonderful. Culinary arts, we've got some plans going there for another update in the high school. And then there are some HVAC updates in some of the elementaries as well. So all of that, along with all of the cleaning that goes on in the district, is full swing, and our maintenance and custodial staff are doing a great job and should be commended for their work this summer. So just a briefer update than what we had in the committee of the whole. Lots of work going on here in the Plymouth School District.
And did you want to say anything about the field? Or?
I always forget that one.
I know.
The most obvious.
Just because it's obvious.
It's obvious. Finke Field is level right now, awaiting the turf with all the work that goes under the turf, the different soils and all of that, and drainage and everything. It's ahead of schedule, and the turf is on time, and it should be going in here fairly shortly. Just interestingly, the company that does all that worked with the field so far is a local company, and I just happened to be out there, and they level the field within a half inch from any measurement that you take from anywhere you go. And the machinery that they use to do that is computer leveled as it moves. The bar that's moving the soil is going up and down based on where the laser is telling it where to go. So they can go rather quickly and get a field prepped in a hurry. Not much shoveling going out there.
No, I was going to say, no
So it's-
rakes, no
yeah.
shovels?
So it is, the field itself is on time. And again, for the turf, the turf is all donated, and it's all from community funded. So that's a wonderful thing. It's part of what I'm going to say at the end is about the generosity of our community, so.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Mhm.
Item F is consider gifts and corresponding budget adjustments. Do you want to go through that?
Yep. And we have a number of them again. Again, the generosity of our community, and thank you very much. First off, we have a donation of $500 from Just Orthodontics in Sheboygan for the band department at Riverview Middle School, and I'll talk a little bit about that in my superintendent's report. There's more to the story. A donation of $254.95 from the Plymouth Education Foundation for a program called No Crying on the Bathroom Floor for Plymouth High School. A donation of $812.70 from the Plymouth Foundation for a garden at Parkview Elementary School. A donation of $338.61 from Heart of Canal Street Grant Program of the Potawatomi Tribe for the Plymouth High School Art Department. A donation of $1,129.37 from the Riverview Middle School Student Council for transportation to the Milwaukee Zoo. A donation of $2,154.08 from Horizon Path Program for transportation to Camp Waikota, Camp Anakiji, Fisher Farms, Madison State Capitol, Bookworm Gardens, Betty Bryn Museum, and River's Edge Nature Center. So this was a year where we finally got to go back to having field trips at the end of the year. A donation of $2,431.11 from Parkview PTK for transportation to Camp Waikota, Manitowoc Discovery, Fisher Farms, Colorandre State Park, UW Milwaukee, Milwaukee Museum, Henry Vilas Zoo, River Edge Nature Center. And a donation of $250.47 from Fairview PTO for transportation to Discovery Farm. And we will make all the adjustments to the expenditure and revenue accordingly.
So I need a motion to approve the gifts and corresponding budget adjustments.
I make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And thank you to everyone for those gifts. We'll move on. 8 is period of public participation. And Katrina?
Okay, first of all, we have Jerry Prowl. Jerry, do you want to come on down? You've got 5 minutes.
Just a few things. The first one is, I've tried to get your phone numbers from the list of school board members. Why isn't the phone number listed? Because I like to talk to people as opposed to texting or email. So if you could maybe change that. And the other thing is, I was hoping Jamie would be here tonight because I had a question about, in the paper, the last review, there was that blurb about how to access that survey. I tried twice. I can't get it. So I don't know why. What came up, I checked the typing and everything as it should. It came up on the screen exactly the way I had typed, the way it's in the paper, and all that came up was something about temperatures and all that kind of stuff. What it is, I haven't got a clue. So I was hoping that Jamie would be able to give me some insight. Plus, she had said that there were only 67 respondents that she had as of last week when we talked. I would like to know how many more people there were, because I do have many questions and things that I would like to discuss and talk about, but at some other time. And I was hoping I could get some input as to what other people are thinking. Because I think if there's more of us get together with it, we can come up to some reasonable solutions.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, great.
thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. And we are going, once we get that compiled, we are going to get that information out of what the trends are in that survey, so.
And I know the survey is accessible on the school website. It's
It
on the
is.
front page. You
Okay.
click the link and it's there.
Okay.
I tested it today.
Okay, next we have Terry Fabian.
Hello, I'm Karen Fabian. I just wanted to come to discuss with you guys the foreign exchange program. I think most of you would have received an email from myself as well as our local coordinator, Deborah. I just want to be able to answer any questions you have. We would love to host a student from South Korea. My daughter Miriam is over there. She's going to be going to South Korea the following school year for college. That's where she'd like to go. She's studying Korean in the foreign language class here at Plymouth High School. And the foreign exchange program, AFS, that the school typically uses does not have South Korean students. So we had been searching for another program and we found the program ICES. And they do have South Korean students. We have a really great, very eligible student that we have already found. We were told that it was the school's policy that they only use AFS. However, according to the school policy 5114, which is the policy listed for foreign exchange, there is no specific exclusion or specification about AFS. However, all of the criteria that are listed there, ICES does meet all of those criteria. So we would just like to know what we need to do as a family to be able to host a South Korean student this coming school year.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it a year-long host or a semester host?
It would be a year-long host. And we do have Deborah brought the student's application and that kind of information if any of you want any of that information as well.
And ICES is, what's the acronym stand for? Do you know, Mary?
I can't quite recall off the top of my head.
But it's international
ICS
something.
meets all the standards that AFS does. There are about 45 agencies that do, and they're considered under Council of Standards of International Education and approved to issue J1 visas to students here. And they usually place about 1,600 students a year throughout the United States. I personally have hosted 31 kids myself. I'm the field manager for the state of Wisconsin. So we meet all the criteria that AFS does as well.
What does ICES stand for?
International Cultural Exchange Services.
Great.
And they're a nonprofit organization, just like every other AFS or any other organization that's out there.
Okay, thank you, that helps. So we can't make this policy or discussion at this time about this, but we will get with the administration and discuss this and then get back to you and see what we can come up with. So, okay?
Is there a time frame by which you need to know by?
As soon as possible, because right now we have the student on hold, but obviously the student wants to be able to get placed for this coming school year. So the sooner we know, so that if we don't get to host her, that we can release her for another family to be able to
And
host.
it takes time for them to get their I-20 visas,
Yeah.
and they have to have an appointment with the embassy in Korea. So the sooner that we can find out, either she can be placed with the Fabian family or released to another family.
Understood. Yeah, we'll get back to you right away. All right.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And Michelle Shutter.
So you know that communication, I've been an advocate for communication, and I want to thank you for your interest in the survey and seeing the value of opening communication. After listening to the committee of the whole meeting last week, I walked away with the question like, how can we get this out to more people? And during the meeting, it was certainly made clear that Jamie or whoever is doing this is looking for directives from you. So I just wanted to share 4 ideas that kind of popped into my head. One connects right to Jerry's.